Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well folks, for this video I think we need to start it off with one big old yikes. That's really not what you wanted to see, huh, Democrats? We've covered this exact topic before. I've made basically this exact same video just a couple months ago, or at least something relatively similar. And of course, you're probably asking, well, what's the motivation to rehash the topic? Well, very simply, folks, the initial poll, the initial piece of data or the trend that we covered a couple months ago just got even more embarrassing for these far lefty Twitter types. I mean, talk about being on the wrong side of an issue. Talk about being on the wrong side of history. These far lefty Democrats and the infamous quote of, "The overwhelming majority of the American public supports everything that I believe." Well, yikes. Not exactly. We just got a poll on the issue of teaching orientation and gender to young school students, and well, very simply, the overwhelming majority of the American public vehemently disagree. Let's continue to talk about it, folks. The left continues to lose the culture wars. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so it seems we might be approaching the end of the culture wars. YouGov poll: do you support or oppose school teachers providing classroom instruction on orientation and gender identity to children in kindergarten through 3rd grade? The numbers are not exactly surprising, but totally shocking if you're a leftoid who's been living in a left-wing bubble for however many years. Support: 21%, oppose 67%. I mean, that is a crushing defeat. If individuals who are undecided were to educate themselves on the topic and make a decision and we were to see that split, over 70% would disagree. And it takes me back to however many months ago we were covering Ron DeSantis's Don't Say Gay bill, of course the Parental Rights in Education bill, where Democrats were claiming that it was an outrage. Well, what exactly did that bill do? It banned inappropriate topics about orientation and gender being taught to young children from kindergarten through grade 3. The exact time frame of this poll. It seems as though 70% of people questioned actually support the Florida bill. But of course, remember the outrage. Like usual, Democrats are on the wrong side of history. The same thing with the whole abortion discussion in the state of Florida, banning the procedure after 15 weeks. We've covered the data. 72% of people questioned disagree with the medical procedure in the 2nd trimester or after 13 weeks. When you look at the data, Democrats are on the wrong side of these issues, and it's not even close. And of course, it was obvious since the start. I mean, their argument made it absolutely clear. The right-wing accusation was that Democrats were teaching inappropriate things to young school children who should just be socializing, learning math and basic reading and writing skills. And Democrats said, well, it's a culture war issue, and it's not even happening, while simultaneously also defending CRT. Well, which one is it? Is CRT a legitimate practice, or is it not happening and it's just a culture war issue and a right-wing talking point? Well, of course, they were running away from something, and as it turns out, left-wing teachers in school districts and school boards have been pushing CRT and gender nonsense for years. Sacramento School District has been pushing radical gender theory since 2012, documents show. Yet they told you that you were crazy and you were pushing a conspiracy theory. Just another dishonest right-wing talking point, they told you. Well, apparently not. And apparently that was just yet again another distraction, because I guess in the end, inside, Democrats knew that they were on the wrong side of this issue basically since the start, and all of their tactics have been disingenuous, shady, slanderous. Let's not forget the demonization of parents. The Democrat view, of course, that it's not outrageous that teachers are pushing race and gender nonsense onto your children, indoctrinating them with far left fringe ideology. That's not the problem. The problem is the extreme alt-right parent. Even the friggin' Biden administration pushed the same thing, with Biden and Merrick Garland's DOJ classifying concerned parents in Virginia as, quote, domestic terrorists, an absolutely disgusting practice, which by the way teachers unions are still doing. New Jersey Teachers Union calls parents extremists in new ad. Take a look at this.
We don't agree on everything in New Jersey, but we all agree that our kids deserve a world-class education. So when extremists start attacking our schools, that's not who we are. People who only want to fight to score political points should take that somewhere else.
But who is really extreme? Is it the parents who represent over 70% of the American population in their outrage over the garbage indoctrination that's happening, targeting young school children? Or is it the teachers' unions and these fringe leftoids who continue to push these extreme ideas and ideology? Who's really extreme here? The people representing 70%, the 70% majority, or the 20% minority pushing absolutely wacko ideas? Who's the extremist? The answer is as clear as day, folks. As I've always framed this dynamic, it's good versus evil. I mean, it's not even politics anymore. And it's very clear which side is good and which side is evil. I mean, the headlines these days are just insane. Mega Media picked it up. Teachers union officials extremely proud of deal to lay off white teachers first. Which side is good and which side is evil? Which side is normal, regular people and which side is extreme? Luckily enough, folks, as I've been saying for years, the cultural pendulum is continuing to slowly swing as we see the continued rebuke against left-wing indoctrination and frankly just left-wing craziness. Wisconsin's school board defies protesters, retain ban on pride flags and preferred pronouns. Again, the kind of stuff that has no place in an educational setting. And I mean this basically across the board. There shouldn't be a Trump flag in the classroom. There shouldn't be any political or ideological flags in the classroom whatsoever. All there should be is an American flag and timetables and other things that are actually relevant to the curriculum at hand. That's it. And finally, we have a school board standing up, doing the right thing, and telling protesters to take a hike. And I think this kind of rebuke and just regular people standing up for what's right, and more importantly, standing up against the woke mob and the activist base, is something that we're going to continue to see and we're probably going to see more of. The trends are absolutely clear. The pendulum is shifting further and further away from the woke left and their craziness, and of course it continues to pop up in the trends and the data, whether it's on a per policy or a per issue basis, or just in general. I mean, take a look at this. A new Morning Consult study finds Americans are less liberal than they were 5 years ago, and the shift was largely driven by minorities. Percent identifying as liberal from 2017 to 2022, Hispanics 50% to 34%, a negative 16 drop, Black Americans 49% to 34%, a 15 drop, other 40% to 29%, a negative 11% drop, and with white Americans 31% to 25%, a negative 6% drop. The data is undeniable. It's almost like exposure therapy, folks. The more people are exposed to the lefto-wacko nonsense that spawned on college campuses maybe 10 years or so ago and continues to spread and infect every facet of life and culture, the more people are getting sick of it and the more people are walking away, and the more these leftoids overplay their hands with their ridiculous slander campaigns, the more people are paying attention, seeing what's going on, actually doing a little bit of research, finding out the facts. And the more Bernie Sanders' quote of "the overwhelming majority of the American public agrees with me," the more that quote continues to age very, very poorly, like a bottle of milk rotting in the sun. Keep coping, leftoids. You are losing. That's what I got for you guys, though. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you're up for it. Of course, we would love to have you as part of the Liberal Hive Mind community. I'm going to get back to work, though. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.